Uptober. Probably heard about it if you're in the Bitcoin market. Uptober indeed. What was I telling you from sometime around the middle of September? Right, that even though we could have a stronger finish for September than people had assumed, and indeed we did, there was also a probability that October would also have a nice move to the downside, and more than just for the first few days, but possibly even for the first week and a half to 2 weeks. We're now the 11th of October, and that's pretty much what's happened so far. That was the last time I looked at the charts, probably about an hour ago now or so. Now, is there a probability that we've seen the cells basically drop off the cliff and the buys are coming in hot and going to start to drive this puppy around, turn this train around, whatever the expression is, and that from now on until the end of the month, we're going to see insane gains to the upside? First of all, if you care about the direction, you're not really a trader. You kind of are, maybe. You might be. But if you really only care about trading in one direction, you're not really a trader. Traders don't really, I mean, that's my opinion, obviously. Do with it what you will. But traders generally, when they're professional traders or when they make their living trading, they don't care about price. They don't care about direction. They only care about returns and the profits that they realize from those returns, whether to the upside or the downside, or even sideways, depending on what kind of trade they're doing. For example, sideways. How can you make money going sideways? If you provide liquidity to the market and you hold, a bunch of, let's say, stablecoin dollars, okay? And you provide, let's say, $1 million or whatever to the market, and you earn 0. Whatever it might be, 0.2%, okay? Just for holding that position, okay? Well, it means that if the price goes sideways for some time, you still make that 0.2%. Depending on your position, that might be enough to make, your money for the day, right? If it goes up, if it goes down, that will obviously affect how much you make as a liquidity provider. But you can certainly make money even if it goes sideways, if you're providing liquidity to the market. Technically, you can also make money by providing liquidity in different ways, but that's just a basic example of it, right? Obviously, anytime you're on a limit order, you're providing liquidity to the market, whether you're long or short. That's what it means to be a market maker. That's why they call it maker fees, when you pay those fees, or when you earn those fees, right? Depending on your exchange and depending on your contract. So, point of all this is to say that it doesn't matter what position you're taking. If you're trading, it just matters that your position is positioned such that whatever the market does next, your trade is in profit. And when you hit a target, or even get close to a target, you don't just wait around for the market to take your money. You take your damn profits. So does it really matter if October will end up being an Uptober or not? My answer is no. In fact, my answer is the more it sits roughly where it is, in the somewhere between 75 to 49K range, the better for people who want to accumulate more Bitcoin, since that is the asset I'm talking about. Why? Well, you know, it's a lot cheaper between 49 and 75 than it would be at 100 to 150K. You're going to get a lot more of it between 49 and 75 than you would between 100 and 150K for the same dollar purchase, or the same euro purchase, the same pound purchase, the same shekel or yen or yuan purchase, right? So you're getting a better deal as long as it's cheaper and hasn't run back up to the all-time highs. I don't see any problem with that at all. The only people who have real problems with that are people who are just holding on for dear life and hoping or depending on the possibility that it might go up to a certain number. And the thing is, those people are inevitably going to be disappointed. Inevitably. Because the probability of the assets doing what you want, as opposed to doing what the VEPS suggests it is probably going to do, is very minimal. The probability is much more high, much more significant, that it is in fact going to do what is suggested by the indications of the VEPS. That's why we use them at Alpha Trading, right? That's literally why we use them. That's why our tool developers built those tools. That's why we figured out how to trade with them. That's why we give that information away. So Uptober, maybe, but really, who cares? It's just another month, and you should not be trading low time frames based on high time frame information like monthly predictions or quarterly predictions or semi-annual or annual predictions. You should be trading based on highly relevant mathematical information, leading information, and that's it. All right. Happy trading.